So, you want to change your life? The first step is to stop focusing on your goals. Yeah, I know, that sounds totally backward, but stick with me for a minute.
You start a new habit. You're full of excitement, you're motivated, you are so ready to go.
And then life just happens. That initial spark starts to fizzle out, and before you know it, you're right back where you started.
It's such a frustrating cycle. But here's the thing. It's not your fault. You're just playing the wrong game.
The problem is something I like to call the goal trap. From day one, we're taught to set these huge, ambitious goals. Lose 20 pounds, run a marathon, write a novel. The issue is, goals are all about the finish line. They create this all-or-nothing mindset, where you're either a success or you're a failure. Happiness gets put on hold until you hit the target. And then, once you do, the motivation just vanishes. So, what's the alternative? You need to build a system. It's time to forget the finish line and just fall in love with the process. Winners and losers, they often have the exact same goals. The thing that actually separates them, it's their system.
Let's break this down. A goal is to write a book. A system is your daily writing schedule. A goal is to run a marathon. The system is your training plan. The goal gives you direction, for sure. But the system, that's what actually gets you there.
And what's really amazing is just how incredibly small your system can be to get these huge results. It all comes down to one simple little rule. Just 1%. That's it. The whole aim is to get just 1% better every single day.
This is really the core idea here. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. These tiny, almost insignificant improvements, they don't just add up, they compound. It's like money in a high-yield savings account. The effects of your habits multiply over time. Getting 1% better each day for a year, that's not a 365% improvement. No, it's almost 38 times better. The tricky thing about this compounding effect is that for a long time, your progress is almost invisible. It really feels like you're not going anywhere. But if you can just stick with it, you eventually hit this tipping point where the results just explode upwards. That's why we call them atomic habits. They're tiny improvements, but they build on each other to create something absolutely massive. So how do we actually make these systems stick? Well, the secret is to stop fighting your brain and start working with it. Okay, so here's the fundamental conflict. Our brains evolved in a world of immediate returns. We needed to find food, water, and safety right now. But building good habits, like exercising or saving money, that involves delayed rewards. The big benefits are way off in the future, and that mismatch is exactly why it's so hard to stick with them. So how do we fix this? It all comes down to one simple rule. What is rewarded is repeated. What is punished is avoided. So the hack is to give yourself an immediate little reward right after you complete your habit. Just finish your workout, go watch an episode of your favorite show. Wrote those 500 words? Treat yourself to a really great cup of coffee. This tiny, immediate bit of pleasure trains your brain to connect the habit with a good feeling. It makes you want to do it again, and it tides you over while you're waiting for those big, long-term rewards to finally kick in. And this brings us to the last and honestly the most powerful idea of all. The ultimate goal isn't really about the outcome, it's about your identity. See, true behavior change is identity change. The goal isn't to run a marathon, it's to become a runner. It's not about meditating one time, it's about becoming a meditator. Every single action you take is like a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you're just chasing an outcome, it feels like this constant battle. You're just relying on willpower, forcing yourself to do something that feels unnatural. It's a total struggle. But once your habits become tied to your identity, all that friction just disappears. You're not trying to be something anymore. You're just acting in alignment with who you already are. And it feels good to just be you. So forget about the massive overhaul. Forget about the finish line. The only thing that really matters is this. Just ask yourself, what tiny step can I take today to be 1% better? Because that is where real change begins.